So this is prep for tomorrow's recipe, but tonight we are doing just white, I just almost said white breast chicken meat. It's just chicken breasts. These ones are frozen. I got them at Hannaford, and it just says ready to cook chicken breast fillets. So we're doing these, boneless, skinless, and then we put in, I'm making this with my husband, that's why I keep saying we, and then we're doing natural goodness chicken broth. So we put some chicken broth in there and then set the timer for 8 hours, and we're going to let this cook away tonight. And then tomorrow we will put this in the chicken, what do they call it? Chicken pot pie bubble up by Emily Bites. So I'm excited. So this is the chicken that I threw in the crock pot last night. It was in for 8 hours, and I just put it in low sodium chicken broth as you saw, and then I just took 2 forks, took all the breasts, put them in there, and then just shredded it up. Here's the ingredients you will need for the chicken pot pie bubble up. It yields 6 servings, and it's 9 smart points per serving. So let me just dive into what you will need. Sorry, I had to write the ingredients down. So I only have extra virgin olive oil, but you just need 1 teaspoon. Is it 1 teaspoon? Yep, 1 teaspoon of olive oil. I have obviously extra virgin. I had the baby carrots, so I just cut them up. So you need 1 cup of diced carrots. And then you need, this was the chicken that I put in the crock pot last night, and then let it cook for 8 hours in low sodium chicken broth. And then I took it out and shredded it with 2 forks, and then I just weighed out 12 ounces. So this is 12 ounces of cooked shredded chicken. And then these are the steam fresh, just frozen peas, so they're still frozen. This is 2/3 of a cup, which I measured out. I just have some dried thyme, so you just need 1 teaspoon of dried thyme. And then 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, which I'm going to grind up and measure out later. And then you need 2 cups of the jarred chicken gravy. So this has 9 servings in here, which is 1 extra serving over 2 cups. So I'm just going to measure that out when I do add it. So let me see, focus camera. The serving size is 1/4 cup, 60 grams. Servings per container is 9. So you're going to need 60 times 4 is 240. Times 2 is 480. So you're going to need 480 grams of this to make 2 cups. So I'll just measure that out, or you could just measure out 2 cups. And then you need 1 can of the refrigerator biscuit dough. I just did this one. It's the Grand Southern Home Style. It's just buttermilk. So I have that. So you need 1 full can, which is 7.5 ounces. And then you need 4 ounces of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. So I have that. So that's just 1 cup, 4 ounces. So I'll obviously measure that out later. So those are your ingredients. All right, guys, as usual, I'm going to, sorry, I have to unlock my oven. Or I just relocked it. All right, so we want to preheat, bake, not my dominant hand, gotta switch.
Mommy, what's wrong?
350. So that's preheating, and then you just want to grease your 9x13 pan with some Pam or whatever you use to typically grease your pans. So I'm going to do that, and then I will show you the next step. All right, guys, next step is to grab a medium skillet, and you want to put your burner on medium. And then this is just 1 teaspoon of olive oil. Mine's obviously the extra virgin, but it's just supposed to be regular olive oil. Just let that heat up, and then you're going to add your diced carrots in here, cooking for 7 to 8 minutes, stirring occasionally, just to soften them a little bit. All right, so I've added my carrots, and now you just kind of let them do their thing. And I do have them on a timer, because having as many kids as I do running around here, I have to have everything on a timer and be super careful. And oven is still preheating. It's at 207 degrees right now. And it has to get up to 350. So, carrot overboard. Why wouldn't my phone die while I'm trying to make a recipe? Alright, so the oven is now preheated, so I'm just waiting. The carrots have another 3 minutes to cook. Probably 3.5, because it looks like it's going to take about 8 minutes for it to get a little bit more soft. I think they're softening a little bit. I can tell that the color's changing. It's not that like crisp, bright orange. It's, what's the word? I don't know. The color's draining out. There's a word I wanted to use, but I can't think of it. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then basically the next step is kind of just combining everything in that pan and putting it in the oven and letting it do its thing. All right, so now my phone is charging. So let's hope I don't light this cord on fire because I have a gas stove. But yeah, this has 7 seconds left, and then I'm going to combine all the ingredients. Of course, my mom called while I was trying to film, and I used my phone as my camera because the camera on my phone is just pretty good quality, minus the, I don't know, it's having a focusing issue lately. But yeah. All right, so I will show you the next step. Now to here, you just want to add your, if I can do this without dumping everything, your peas. All of them, which are stuck. And then your chicken. This is the 12 ounces of chicken. Guys, the struggle is real. My husband's working, so he can't help me with the camera. And I don't have a tripod yet. I have a tripod for my actual, like, good camera, but it's just so much harder to work with that right now. So, all right. So you got your peas, your carrots, your 12 ounces of chicken, and then you just need 1 teaspoon of dried thyme and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. So I'm going to add that in and then mix everything up. And then you pour the gravy in and you combine all the ingredients and get them all coated in gravy. So I'll show you that. All right, so these are all the ingredients. I feel like that's a lot of thyme, but that's 1 teaspoon of thyme, and then you can't really see it, but sprinkled over is the ground pepper. I didn't technically measure that out, but I don't like my things super peppery, but enough just to taste it. So I'm just gonna mix all the ingredients, and then I'll show you what that looks like. All right, my friends, so my master plan, I know I had said that this was 9 servings and I only need 8 for the pie. So what I did, 1 serving is 60 grams, so I just took out my food scale and I weighed out a serving. So I'm just going to set that aside. We don't need it. Honestly, I might just add that. It's a lot of sodium, though. I was going to say I might add it to my dog's food. But anyways, you want to take your chicken gravy and just kind of go crazy. All right, so now I'm just going to mix that, and once all the ingredients are combined, basically the main thing is just to add the pie crust to the top, and then you put it in the oven. And then after you take it out, put some cheese on it, put it back in the oven for 15 minutes, and you've got yourself some yummy dinner. I apologize, I had to change locations a little bit because, of course, my phone won't stay charged long enough. I think there's something going on with it, but anyways, this is all of the ingredients combined with the gravy, and then I'm just going to add the biscuits on top. So just as a little side note, the packet of biscuits that I had was like double the size that I needed, and I didn't realize it. So I just, actually half the can of biscuits exploded into my face, and I think 2 of them fell on the floor. So my floor is gross. So I didn't want to use that in the recipe, which worked out because there were 8 biscuits, so I just used 4. You do have to basically pull them apart the way they come and just shove pieces of the dough like into the mixture. So I have finished that. I'm going to show you, and then all you need to do is just pop it in the oven for 25 minutes. Once that's done, you take it out, you sprinkle your 1 cup of cheese on the top, and then stick it back in the oven for 15 minutes, and then I will show you what it looks like. All right, so this is what it looks like with all the dough pieces. I'm sorry if you can hear this one. He's just whining. What do you want? So I'm going to stick this in the oven. This is what it looks like, and it will go in for 25 minutes. And then I'll pull it out and show you, because then I have to add the cheese. That's what it looks like. Don't mind the big streak of whatever that is. Starting to bubble up. So we have 2 minutes and 45 seconds left, and that's what it looks like. It's looking pretty good. Alright, I have to be careful because the baby is chilling. That's what it looks like right now. It's looking good. So you just want to sprinkle your cheese on, which I have hanging out. Trying to do it evenly in the viewfinder, and it's proving a little bit difficult. Holy hell, that is hot. Alrighty. So that's the cheese sprinkled on. Now you just want to pop it back in the oven for 15 minutes. Hi. Alright, I'm going to stick this in and I'll show you the final product. Alrighty, so it is done. And it looks so good. Oh god, I'm like sticking my thumb in it. Okay. That looks awesome. So I never really filmed, my oven's preheated, don't mind that. I never really filmed my take on the chicken pot pie bubble up and how it tastes. And let me tell you, it's fantastic. Sorry, I can't hold the camera with my dominant hand because I need to. So, I don't know, it's just... I went way less heavy on the thyme. I just kind of sprinkled it to the eye. I didn't really like measure it out. And then I do that with the black. I do that pretty much with all my seasonings. The first time around, I added way too much thyme. And even my husband was like, ooh, is that what that is? And I was like, yeah. This time, though, it's so much better. I just kind of got the hang of it this time. And it tastes really good. Everything's nice and flaky. I highly, highly recommend this recipe. It is so delicious.